Hello and welcome back to Journey Within Reiki, where we reflect, heal, and embody authentic versions of ourselves in each session. My name is Mark, and today we're going to be finding the peace within us. In the last video, the first of this peace series, we discussed those moments in time when we suddenly feel something unpleasant within our body. We might not know what it is, but we notice that it starts to grow, and our nervous system starts to feel unsafe. And then the mind comes in and starts to detect the threat to the nervous system, starts scanning through the past, our memories, searching into the future, identifying all the potential threats, and then starting to narrate all of the protective patterns that we need to re-engage in to ensure that we are safe. This thinking mind perpetuates the fear and feeling of unsafety within the nervous system, creating a fear loop between the thinking mind and nervous system that has us locked into a storm. This storm starts to dim down all of the different paths towards freedom and peace that are available, until the only one that we can see is that familiar one of old protective patterns that we've gone down to protect ourselves with before. The last video we talked about this fear loop and how to break ourselves free from it. Today in our reflection, we're going to be looking at the contrast between the way the mind offers narration when our nervous system is feeling unsafe, and then how it operates and what it does when our nervous system feels completely safe and the sun is shining and everything feels wonderful. In the storm, the mind can become a bit distorted. It can drum up all kinds of different problems with scenarios, situations, people, relationships, etc. It can make us fearful about what might happen in the future. When the mind starts thinking like this, notice how we shrink down. Notice how the body contracts. It's like the way a flower closes up at night, or when the storm comes in and the rain starts to fall. We shrink up and we can't see any pathway out of that storm in that moment. It's not until our nervous system feels safe, that the flower detects the storm is over, that we can open again, relax again, and stop that thinking mind. So we learn to ask ourselves the question when we're not feeling safe. Is our body, is our survival under any immediate threat in this present moment? And when the answer is yes, we take action, we get out of that situation. But often the answer is no. We just have a feeling, a piece of blocked energy trying to move through that can't. It feels unpleasant. The nervous system is not really detecting a threat to our survival or safety, but our mind is treating it like that. What we need to do in this situation is simply notice the state of the nervous system and recognize that it is feeling unsafe even though there is absolutely no threat to our survival or our body. Now, reflect on those moments when you feel absolutely safe and secure. You have everything you need, everything is aligning, the sun is shining, and we feel perfectly safe. Well, the mind starts to run a different narrative in this situation. It starts to offer up creativity. It has ideas about things we can do that inspire us. It wants to expand. It wants to reach out and connect with others. It's bringing us all kinds of ideas about how to build, how to create, how to expand, and how to connect. It's giving us a different feeling inside. We're feeling inspired. We're feeling excited about what the mind is presenting us. This perpetuates that state of safety and expression within us. So, the difference between these two situations of being trapped within a storm or being brought into an open space of expansion and sunlight is simply related to the state of the nervous system. So, in these moments when we're questioning whether there is action and protection needed, we simply are noticing whether we can tell the nervous system to relax, that we are safe, that there is no threat to our survival or our body. And then we can move ourselves into an area of sunlight, out of the storm, and have our mind create a different narrative for us, offer a different background and surrounding to our life and the way we feel in that moment. There is nothing to do here, nothing to fix. This is reflection. So we are just shining a light of awareness on these two different scenarios, noticing the feeling within the body and the narration within the mind during them. That is all that is required. So as always, sift through yourself with kindness and compassion, and we'll see you back here when it's time to heal. In the reflection, we were going back to those moments and noticing when the nervous system feels unsafe versus when the nervous system does feel safe, and how the mind offers us a completely different narrative in each of these situations. We looked at how the mind responds within the storm of unpleasant feelings and fearful narration versus how it operates during those sunny days when the nervous system feels safe and secure and we have everything that we need. The healing occurs when we can go into these moments of reflection, when we've asked that question about our absolute survival and body safety and recognize that there is no threat. In this moment, then, we need to apply some healing toward the nervous system instead of following the instructions of the mind. We know that the mind can become very distorted when we're within that storm, and the pathways leading out can become very dim. What we often do is walk down that old path, the familiar one of protection, but that doesn't lead us towards freedom and peace within our lives. So, in the healing, we're trying to calm that nervous system. We're communicating back to it that there is no immediate threat to our survival or our body, and that we are safe, and that everything is absolutely fine. We can do this by going into exercise, or some sort of movement to get that energy going. We can use breath work. We can use all kinds of different healing modalities to take our nervous system from that state of fight or flight into a state of calm. We can notice during this healing how the mind begins to change. Something that could have seemed like an impossible situation or huge ordeal or problem prior to exercise can suddenly seem like not that big of a deal afterward. The energy has moved, the blockage has released, the nervous system has responded with a feeling of safety, and the mind has calmed. It has moved out of its protective duties into an area where it can offer expansion, creativity, and thoughts of connection and inspiration instead. So we're not working with the mind while we heal. We are tapping into the feeling within the body and the nervous system and directing love toward ourselves by telling ourselves that we are safe, by breathing in such a way that it is communicating safety, by moving in such a way that it is releasing that energy. There are tons of different ways that we can simply move energy, calm the nervous system, and get out of that storm. This is the sunshine that we have within us that we can bring forth, move ourselves into that area of expansion and creativity simply by offering ourselves some love and communicating to our nervous system that we are safe. So, as always, healing is about directing love towards self. It is about calming the nervous system. This is our pathway back to peace. So, good luck with the healing. Be kind and compassionate towards self, and we'll come back when it's time to take action and embody that new, safe, authentic version of you. When we wish to embody the most authentic versions of ourselves, we are really integrating what we have learned in the reflection and the healing portion, and making different choices for ourselves, taking different action, choosing a different path forward than we have in the past during these same circumstances or situations that we find ourselves in. So in this session, the choice to make is this. We can choose when we enter into those storms, those moments of unpleasant feeling and thinking mind narrations, to engage in nervous system healing work, to go to that breath work, to go to that exercise or yoga or to that meditation. We choose to go there to calm the nervous system down because we have recognized that there really is no immediate threat to our survival or our safety. We're simply just bothered by an unpleasant feeling within the body, and our mind is keeping us stuck there by offering a fearful narration. The second choice, of course, is to stay with that narration, continue to feed our energy and attention towards those thoughts and that thinking mind, to avoid taking responsibility to heal in this moment and go into a mode of being the victim of our circumstance and perpetuating that unpleasant feeling or that storm that we find ourselves in. Those are the two choices: to follow the heart, to follow the body, and to take care of the nervous system, or to follow the thinking mind and stay within the storm and the fear loop that it is holding us within. The choice in this situation might seem pretty obvious. Obviously, we wish to feel better. We're going to take the first choice and heal ourselves. But that's not always what happens. Sometimes our sense of safety comes from familiarity. So even though the thinking mind is really perpetuating fear and limiting our options forward and keeping us stuck in this storm, we might choose to be there because it is what is familiar to us. We have gone down this road before. Something about that feels safe. In a sense, we almost become addicted to the suffering that we feel or the victim thinking that we are engaged in these moments. And that's what holds us here. That's what stops us from making a different choice for ourselves. So we can find the courage and the strength and the energy in these moments to choose differently and pull our energy and our attention back away from that thinking mind. Recognize that it is trying to solve a problem that is not really there. we are not really under any immediate threat. So we can choose then to go into some breath work, healing, and move that energy that's unpleasant out of the body without putting our attention on the mind. If we can do this and create some safety within the body and our nervous system, we can then notice how the mind changes its narration. Starts to tell us that the problem isn't really that big of a deal, that we do have other options and ways through this situation that are much more pleasant, and that we agree we are safe and everything is okay. So the choice is always ours, but it is not always easy. Sometimes we can find ourselves smack dab in the middle of a storm before we've even realized that we've been going down that road again. So sometimes it's a matter of bringing ourselves back from noticing we've been perpetuating this storm and staying stuck in this energy, and choosing now to calm ourselves down and to move toward that sunlight. We have that choice, we have that power, we take that responsibility, and we heal ourselves. So be brave, be compassionate, choose differently, and notice what happens when you do. Let that new feeling of peace and that ability to bring yourself out of the storm and into the sunlight be your guide and your reason for coming back and choosing to do it again next time. Good luck with the embodiment and the choices that you make. It gets easier every time you do it, and you will see that and feel that as you go. Thank you very much for being here with me again today at Journey Within Reiki. If you wish to continue your journey, there's lots of free opportunity available in the description box. You have the power to heal yourself. That is our philosophy at Journey Within Reiki. And please know that you are safe and you are loved. And we hope to see you here again soon.